Howdy folks, welcome to the channel. Today's video is about what it's like being married to a Filipina in the United States. And of course, this is from an American's perspective, not a Filipino's perspective, so it may differ some. Hi, I'm Roy.
I'm Christine.
I'm Ish.
And welcome to our channel, Married to a Filipina. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. Like the thumbnail of my video suggested, what is it like being married to a Filipina? Well, let me tell you something. There's a bit of adjustment. If you, you're on Skype or whatever messenger service you're using, and you fall in love, and you go to the Philippines, and of course, most of the time you're going from resort to resort. That's all wonderful. And then your Filipina comes to the United States or any country that you're from around the world, and then you have to deal with the adjustment. That's the hard part. That's really the hard part, because everything you thought was really cute is now a reality. Give you an example. I'm a talker. It's probably one of my worst and greatest assets. It's great for YouTube, but I think I could talk to a stranger in a dark room. I could talk to anybody. So I'm a talker. So we're going down the road or wherever we are, and I'm talking away, and my wife is going like this with her eyebrows, whatever that meant, and not saying anything. And then I will go, honey, you're not talking. And she'll go, I don't have anything to say. Like, really? Wow. I don't know how to take that, so it's the way it is. Sometimes they don't have anything to say. So if they don't have anything to say, I guess you're going to talk to yourself or not talk either. Or she'll go, what's that? Well, they're pointing. I guess it's impolite to point with your fingers in the Philippines, but you can point with your lips, and it's kind of cute. So I'm used to that one, and we're okay with that. But it took quite a while to become adjusted to being married to a Filipina, in the aspects of, we all talk about what it must have been like to be married to a woman in the 40s or the 50s. And then, all of this liberation stuff and self came about, and, women aren't like that any longer. Well, let me tell you something, the Filipinas are. And I can say that, at least from all the Filipinas that I know. I'm sure there are some modern Filipinas now that aren't, but in my aspect, mine is an old-fashioned girl. So you bring a Filipina to the United States, this house is their castle. I'm not going to shit you. You're never, ever going to walk in that house again with your shoes on your feet. And if you do, there might be hell to pay. So you just go along with it. The organization, everything is organized. Dinner is on the table when it's supposed to be. When I come home from work at night, dinner is ready. I can literally sit down, have a cup of coffee, because coffee has already been made, by the way, and before I got home, and I can literally sit down and she will serve me. And you have to get used to them things. Them are, remember when your grandmother would dawdle on you as a young child, and it's almost a hindrance at first, until you realize the concept and you go, wait a minute, this is wonderful to feel loved, and it makes you go out of your way to do the same for her. So it literally strengthens your relationship. Yesterday, in fact, I was watching the news on TV, and she walks through the living room and she says, honey, your winter coats are all clean now and put away. It's like, it's the 1st of June. I wouldn't worry about my winter coat until after the 3rd or 4th freeze, maybe. And it'd probably be still dirty from the year before, but that's not how Filipinas operate. I lost keys in my shop for my cabinets. Didn't know where they were. We couldn't find them. And I looked all over, and she actually looked all over. And one day I grabbed my keys in the hallway for the shop, which is right over there, and there the keys were on the key ring with all written shop keys. It's like, it was early in the morning. She wasn't up yet. It was on the weekend. And I thought to myself, isn't that wonderful? That's something that just makes you feel good, that they did something for you out of love when you least expect it. And that continues on a daily basis. Like our license plates, the lettering had wore off on the plates, you know, cheap lettering, whatever. And I was going to order new plates, and I hadn't got around to it. And one day I come home from work, and all the lettering is done on the car, and the license plates are beautiful. I said, "What happened, honey?" "I painted them." "Wonderful." And she did. She painted them. And that's, I don't know any women like that, you know? I mean, I think if something major broke in the house, she'd probably go online and figure out how to fix it. So she runs this household. Don't let anybody shit you. So I do my thing. Trust me. I go out there and I work every day, and I do my fishing and all them things. But she runs this household, and that's her castle. She runs it. And then there's the aspect shopping. Now, we can go food shopping. I can buy most anything, and she doesn't say too much, other than maybe the freezer is too full, honey. We don't need this. And she's absolutely correct. And I don't argue with that, because she knows what's in that freezer. I don't. But like we were at Kohl's a few weeks ago, I said, "Honey, oh, look at this beautiful stuff." "Okay." "Honey, you should get that." "No." "Why not?" "Another time." I literally had to pick the stuff off the hangers and say, "Honey, buy this." She doesn't want to buy things for herself. She wants to save the money for the future. So I have to force her to do that. Now, like I'd said in our last video, we'll be going to the Philippines in another month. So I'm going to have to force her to purchase more clothing in the future. We'll talk about the aspect of being together. When you go to the Philippines and you're dating, everything is, hunky dory. You want to be together night and day, and that's all great. Then you bring her to the United States or to your home country, and you want to go hunting, you want to go fishing, you want to go here, you want to go there. They want to go with you. Trust me on that. She's my little shadow. And I get an example. Last fall, I wanted to go hunting, and a friend of mine invited me to go hunting about an hour and a half away. So she came along, of course, to look at where I was hunting, seen the place, and "I'll go with you." I said, "You don't need to go with me, honey. I'm deer hunting. You want to hunt?" "No." "What do you want to do?" "I'll just sit in the car." "Why?" Filipino psyche is, you might get attacked by a bear, a blizzard might come, you might fall and die, and they'll be there to save you, because I'm sure she would coordinate the coordinates for the rescue helicopter and everything. Would be good. But no, honey, I'll be fine. I'll get up like at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll drive over there. I'll hunt. I'll come back home at the end of the night. That's really a tough thing. So you to get away and do them things, because a Filipino wants to be involved in all aspects of your life. And we say all these wonderful things. We want a woman to be involved in our life. We want to have this wonderful relationship. But let me tell you something. As much as we say about how women are liberalized and they've changed, maybe we have too. And when you realize that, and you realize how special your relationship really is, you understand their psyche. And I've learned to understand that psyche. We do everything together. And that's a wonderful thing. Tomorrow morning, I'm actually going fishing with our son and another buddy. She's staying home. And I still find that hard to believe, because tomorrow morning she may get dressed and just want to go, because that's the way it is. She wants to be with you and be part of your life. And you know, us American guys ain't used to that. We go hunting and fishing and whatever. And, years ago when we were young, of course, we would stop and probably have too many along the way. And, I'm older now. I don't play that game, but it's different. Last Sunday morning, I went for coffee with a buddy that I haven't seen in a coon's age. And, you know, you're going to go there for coffee? Yes. Can I go? No, not at that time of the morning, because he wanted to meet at like 6 o'clock in the morning to have coffee. And that about killed her. And it's not about trust. It's at first when she got here, I thought it was a trust issue, because by God, she can trust me. It's not a trust issue. It's like we're a team. So that aspect takes a little bit of getting used to. But when you get used to that aspect that you're a team, and we do almost everything together, and we like each other. We like being together, and I love teaching her new things. So I'm a history buff, so I'm always rattling off all these things that she's never heard of, and so we do that quite well together. So that's just another aspect of being married to a Filipina that you're going to have to adapt to. Now, there's one aspect about being married to a Filipina that I hadn't mentioned earlier, and I thought I should. When I met my wife, we had chatted a couple of days, and then she informed me that she had a son. And honestly, that's not what I wanted. I did not want to be with a Filipina that had a child. At this age, to this stage of the game in my life, I want to go out there and have fun. I don't want to be burdened with kids. And I thought about it for a few days, and I thought, wait a minute, one love versus two. They're both going to love me, and I thought I couldn't discount that. So we proceeded in our relationship, and I knew that she had a child. He was 9 years old. And first time I met him, of course, he was very shy, very quiet. I brought him some gifts, and I've got some really cute pictures brought him Pringles and some silly putty, things like that. And he was so shy, so quiet, so small. And of course, over time, we developed I would say more of a distant relationship at that point. He didn't know what to think. And I asked him. In fact, we were trying to make a video out here by the campfire one night. I said, "What did you think?" And he said, I think you were scary." "What do you mean?" "Because you're so big." And I just laughed. And now, our son is in his second year of school here in the United States. He's in seventh, just going into eighth grade, and he plays basketball. He's in the band. He's got a catcher's thing over there for his football, and plays basketball and goes with his buddies. And for me personally, I have 4 children from my first marriage, and I'm not the same guy I was back then. I was very self-centered. I fished, I hunted, I raced cars. I did everything. I did everything but be a really good father. And it gave me a second chance. I go to parent-teacher conferences now, and it excites me. It literally excites me. I go to the basketball games, and the people in town, they look at you funny because you're older and you've got this Asian son playing basketball, and woohoo, go Ishi, and it's like, I love all of it. And so if you're talking to a Filipina and she happens to have children, man, never discount that, because the love that you receive is so much more than what you're giving up. I'm not giving up anything. In fact, I've gained so much. I've gained so much insight. I wish I could go out here and throw a football with him like he'd like. I can throw it a little while, but well, he's 13 years old and he's a ball of energy. And I wish I could do more of that, but the rewards are so much more than having a child in the house. And he's a wonderful kid. If you're dating a Filipina and you discard that because she has children, honestly, I'm so glad that I made the decision to continue and be able to raise this son of ours. The last subject is Tampo. And before I go into details of Tampo, I think I should explain to you what it is, because I had no idea. Filipinas don't come with a set of directions or anything. So, we're here a couple of months and everything is hunky-dory, and then all of a sudden she doesn't talk to you. And when I'm talking about not talking to you, I'm not talking about not talking to you for 10 or 15 minutes or a half an hour. I'm talking for like a day or 2 days, maybe even longer if you press it. And that's what Tampo is. They clam up. They have nothing good to say, so they don't say anything. So that is the definition of Tampo. And then you're going to have to figure out how to deal with that. I'm a talker, so when someone gives me the silent treatment, man, that just sucks. And for some reason, I somehow bring out the Tampo, And as an American in particular, because I can't speak for other countries, we're kind of boisterous, and we're very vocal, we're very loud. We're not like Filipinos. So you can say something loud and not mean to be cruel or hateful or anything, but because it's loud, it tends to bring on sometimes Tampo. We're also, as Americans, we're very confrontational, I think. I think that our psyche is, let's just get this solved right now. We're a problem solver as a country, as a nation, as a people. And Filipinos are not that way. And I go, what is going on? I have nothing to say to you. What do you mean you have nothing to say to me? So the first time that I had experienced Tampo was like, what's going on here? And I pressed her on this, and then she said, I have nothing to say that's good to say, so I'm not going to say anything. Oh, okay, I can understand that, because sometimes in our anger or the heat of the moment, we say things that we shouldn't. She's behind the camera right now laughing. And we say things that we shouldn't say. And I get that. And I also understand the concept you can't take words back. And man, as a man, I really fail at all this Tampo stuff. I'm not good at it. And then it just makes me more mad. And then I want to say more things. And I have to just get to a point that I have nothing to say. And for me, that's not easy. And then the Tampo subsides. And she said to me, honey, you are learning how to handle me now. She means it. Which means when we first were together, I would press her to escalate it, because the pressing of Tampo escalates the situation. But letting it die down, just like a fire, it goes away. And I've figured that out now, I think. Not that I'm really good at it, because trust me, I'll experience Tampo in a few days for something that I did, even though I don't know what I did. But that's the way it works. And you're going to have to work through that yourself. And I have several friends that are married to Filipinas, and they go through the Tampo thing. In fact, I've got some friends, I won't mention their names. They've been married for a number of years. And the Tampo was so bad that she used to literally take plates out of the cupboard and throw them at my buddy. I'm not going to mention his name because if they see this video, they're going to know it was them. And she said she's beyond the breaking point now. She doesn't do that any longer. But it took several years for them to fight differently. And we don't have that issue. I mean, when we first experienced the Tampo, I'm not going to tell you it was pretty. Honestly, that would be a lie. You know, I'd like to tell you everything about being married to a Filipina is roses and the sun comes up brighter and it's always warmer. But you know, it's like any relationship. It takes time, especially when there are so many cultural differences. And but it's been really good. I'm very open to try new things. The different foods that she makes, I don't complain. In fact, like an hour ago, I said, "Honey, you want to go out for fish tonight?" She said, "You want?" No, I don't want. I'm asking for her because I don't want to have her have to cook tonight. You know, and I'm doing it for her. I could care less because she'll make something that's wonderful, but then she has to make it. And so I'm asking to go out for fish for her, not for I. And so you have to get through them little idiosyncrasies and understand the psyche of a Filipina. And of course, the quicker you do, the quicker your relationship is going to develop into a really wonderful relationship. And honestly, I would never go back. And I'm looking at my wife right now. I would never go back. I've never been more in love in my life. Never. I've never been treated this wonderfully by a woman in my life. So if you're contemplating marrying a Filipino, I hope you receive everything that I have. And with that, I'm going to cut this video short today. You have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Hope to see you soon.